Alright, besties, it's 2024. Glass skin is the vision. That is our goal, and you're gonna get it. You know why? Because your online bestie is here, and I got you. Look, acne sucks, besties, okay? I totally understand if you're someone who struggles with acne, whatever age you are, and you're still struggling with acne. You've been hearing people say, oh, it's gonna get better over time, whatever, and it hasn't. I feel for you. Talking a little bit about my personal journey with acne, I have struggled with it since high school. I think I started breaking out a lot when I was a senior in high school. And I just heard a lot of people telling me it's hormonal. It's just like because of my age, I'm going through puberty and it's gonna get better. Let me tell you, sister, it did not get better. It got so much worse. It actually did get better for like the first 2 years of college. And then I went on birth control. That literally fricked my face up so much. I was like experiencing like cystic acne. It gotten to the point that I couldn't even go outside without wearing a mask if I didn't have makeup on because it was just so bad and I felt really insecure about it. And then I got off of birth control and it started clearing up my skin a little bit more. However, ever since then, it has just still been pretty bad. It's been like up and down, you know. It's not as bad as when I was on birth control, but it's still not the greatest. And I'm like literally 22 years old, which I know is not super old or anything, but I'm like, I feel like I should be out of the like hormonal, like puberty acne phase and all of that, but I still get it. And within the year though, I have learned a lot about skincare and my own personal skin and just a lot about how to take care of your skin to be able to clear it up a lot within this past year. And I wanted to share my knowledge with you besties so we can all achieve glass skin this year. So I'm going to tell you guys a few tips on how I was able to like clear my skin a little bit, how I was able to get rid of a lot of redness. I don't even go to the dermatologist anymore because honestly, I'm sorry, I don't trust the dermatologist because the last few times I went, they really fricked my face up and I would spend so much money going to the damn dermatologist for them to literally frick my face up. So I know a lot of people don't like going to dermatologists, especially because of the price and stuff like that. So as someone who literally was able to clear my skin up pretty well without the dermatologist, I will be lending you guys a few tips and tricks because there are a lot of different factors other than the skincare products you're using when it comes to clearing up your skin and everything. I honestly don't even use that many crazy skincare products on my face, which I'll get into. I will definitely recommend and tell you guys a few products that I do like. So let's break it down. First, talking about what may be causing your breakout because there are so many different factors. I know a lot of you guys listening are probably in college, high school, so it could be puberty, which I know it sucks. That really sucks. Like that could be a factor. But puberty is definitely a possible factor and that's just normal. That's just how it is. Or if you're someone like me, I break out a lot due to like my internal factors. So that's like hormones and like having my period and being really stressed out. Stress honestly is like one of my number one causes of breaking out. Whenever I just start like stressing a lot and if I like cry a lot and I feel overwhelmed, I notice like literally the next day I will be breaking out. So maintaining your stress level, which I know especially during the school year, it's not always easy to do, but with being stressed, you don't really sleep that well, which is what I notice. So making sure you're getting your 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night is very important with helping your stress and helping your skin and all that. So make sure to sleep. And also what you're eating. A big part of also me breaking out is definitely what I eat. I notice a lot. I think they say that when you break out on your forehead, that is a lot of what to do with what you're eating. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a professional. But I do notice like whenever I eat bad, like I will get a giant pimple right here every single time. And I literally have a scar on my forehead right here because it's always so big and it will like pop and it'll scar. There are certain foods that causes inflammation. So if you're someone who tends to have red skin, it probably is what you're eating. Some foods that cause inflammation are like red meat, foods with a lot of added sugar, alcohol, fast food, obviously, fried food. I was on like a pretty strict Mediterranean diet for a few months, and let me tell you, my skin had never been better. Like, my skin gets inflamed very easily. So when I was on this strict Mediterranean diet, I was probably on it for like 2 months. Oh my god, my skin was like freaking white. It was like basically glass skin, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really strict about what I eat now, so I'm not really like consistent on it anymore. But what a Mediterranean diet is, it's just basically like anti-inflammatory foods, and that consists of like fish, dairy, like yogurt, minimal dairy, not too much, eggs, beans, whole grains, nuts, all of that, seafood, a lot of veggies, obviously, and then white meat. If you feel like you're someone who tends to get inflamed or your skin breaks out when you eat, maybe try going on that diet. Obviously, drinking water. Water is so hydrating for your skin, makes your skin look glowy and bright. I do notice, especially too, because last year is when I really started eating just like healthier in general and just drinking more water, that my skin had definitely gotten more brighter. Like, my skin used to be really dull. All throughout high school and the first 2 years of my college experience, my skin was quite just like dry and dull all the time. Like, there's literally no light on there, girl. And yeah, so I noticed that taking vitamin D also just really helped brighten my skin up. Another cause of your breakout could be your environment as well. Making sure you are cleaning your space up, making sure you're cleaning your phone. Our phones are so dirty. Just think about what your phone has touched, and like, you're literally putting it on your face, you're holding it all the time. So I try to clean my phone with just like a wipe once a week, because I know I'll put my phone on the tables. Sometimes I'm in the bathroom, I'll put it like on top of the toilet paper thing on the bathroom. Like, it's disgusting. So make sure you're washing your phone, making sure you're cleaning your bed sheets as well, because especially your pillowcase, that can have a lot of bacteria on it. And when you're sleeping, if you're someone who like sleeps on their side especially, it will cause a lot of acne. Because I noticed too that a lot of my acne spots are like the sides of my cheeks, probably from like sleeping on my side and everything. So making sure you are washing your bed sheets, keeping all your environment, your space clean, cleaning your home, cleaning your room if you're just like in your bedroom all the time. Oh my god, when I was living in my dorms, I was constantly, that was when I was breaking out the most, first of all. And I was getting very sick as well, like literally every 2 weeks. And I couldn't figure out what the issue was. I mean, there was a lot of different factors. Like I said, I was very stressed out all the time too. The dorms itself were freaking dirty. I'm pretty sure I heard a lot of different people talking about how there's possibly black mold in our dorms, in our vents and stuff like that. Which, if you know black mold, that's so bad for you, and that can cause like a lot of issues with your health and everything. And I'm pretty sure it also is what kind of caused some of my acne as well. I remember I have like a lot of videos from my dorm room days, and whenever like I hear my voice in them, I literally sound sick. Like, I always sound like there's something stuck in my throat. And now I don't live in the dorms, so. Makeup, if you're someone who wears makeup, cleaning those brushes. If you're someone who does not clean your brush at all, and you've been using the same makeup sponge for like years now, for almost a decade, please get a new one. Just get a new one at this point, honestly. I try to wash my makeup brushes and everything maybe every 2 weeks. Honestly, that's kind of cutting it a little bit too long too, like maybe every week. Literally anything you just touch and put it on your face, just clean it. And I throw out my makeup too when it gets really old. I literally made a video not too long ago about me throwing out my makeup palette that was almost 6 years old, and people were in the comments like, girl, you should have kept that, you should have still used it, that's fine. You're like, I never throw out my makeup. That is why your skin is probably bad. Girl, throw out your damn makeup. I don't really know like if makeup expires or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it probably does, but there's no way putting 6-year-old makeup on your face is good for you. So if you are someone who is struggling with like your skin and acne, then throw your old makeup away, please. Honestly, after I threw that palette away, I did notice that like I don't really get, like, whenever I would use that palette, because let me tell you, I would use that 6-year-old palette on every part of my face. And I would always get, like, just, like, teeny, teeny, tiny bumps from using it and stuff like that. And ever since I threw it out, I don't get those bumps anymore. So maybe you guys should throw out your old makeup palettes too and stop keeping them, because that's kind of gross, honestly. That's really gross. And also just take a look at the products you're currently using, because the products you are currently using may not be good for your skin, actually. I'm going to get into like different products for different skin types right after this. But whenever I use a new product, or I'm trying to figure out if my product is causing my skin to break out or anything, sometimes I'll literally like go a week without that product and see how my skin changes and all of that. Or if I'm trying a new product, I don't like to try multiple different new products on my face at once, because it's like, then I won't really know which one is helping my skin and which one's not. So if I ever buy new products, I only use one of them at a time, and I see how my skin reacts. And if my skin reacts well, then I'm like, okay, then this product is good for my face. If it doesn't, then clearly it's not for me. So isolating your products and using one at a time to figure out if the products you're using is causing you to break out or not. Also, let me mention, don't pick at your acne either. I feel like this is a known thing, but if you're someone who you get bothered by your like acnes and like your active pimple and stuff like that, do not try to pop that. It will literally leave scars on your face. Get pimple patches. I swear by pimple patches. I don't really use them at night or anything because I want to let my skin breathe at night. But if I'm putting on makeup or something and I have like an active pimple or a pimple that just popped, then I'll put a like pimple patch over it, so I'm not putting makeup directly onto that spot. Next, we need to figure out your skin type. You could either have oily skin, dry skin, or a combination. Or if you're like me, you can just have freaking crazy sensitive skin too. Everything I feel like with beauty and all of that is just very personal to how you are. If you have more oily skin, dry skin, then certain products will work for you or it won't work for you. Even when it comes to your makeup routine as well, there are probably certain products that work for you and certain products that don't. Like, I think I have like a combo skin, but it's definitely more towards the oily side. So like whenever I'm using like makeup products, I do a very matte makeup look. I don't do like the glowy one. I don't use oil-based products because that will make it worse. So I like to use water-based products or foam cleansers. This is a lot of trial and error. I have definitely throughout the past 2 years have used so many different products. I've spent so much money on a bunch of different skincare products and all of that, but you just kind of gotta test it out. And honestly, it does suck that, you know, sometimes you have to spend a lot of money on products, but that's like how you will figure out, if you, especially if you're not someone who's going to a dermatologist, that is honestly the only way you're gonna kind of figure out what is gonna work for you and what is not, and to understand your skin. Once you figure out your skin type, definitely do your research on what products work for that skin type, so you can figure out what products to buy more than just like randomly buying different products, and knowing what issues you have with your skin too, so you could get products to tackle that specific issue, whether that's having bumpy skin, having redness, blackheads, all of that. Whatever you're trying to tackle, make sure you're getting products for that. And I know you guys are here to figure out what products I'm using, what are the best products for skincare. I'm going to tell you guys the products that work for me and products that don't work for me, to give you a little bit more of an insight about my skin and my skincare journey. Like I said, when I was on birth control, that was when my skin got very, very bad, and that's when I started trying out a bunch of different products. Towards the end of last year was when I started kind of figuring out what my skin was, and like, It took me a really long time to even come to the conclusion that I had sensitive skin. I just thought like maybe I was allergic to a certain ingredient, but in general, I'm like literally allergic to everything. I honestly don't know till this day what I'm allergic to. I got really into Korean skincare and all of that. All these BHAs, exfoliants. I was double cleansing for a while, and that I heard from literally almost everybody that double cleansing is very important, especially if you're someone who wears makeup a lot. Bunch of serums, vitamin C. I'm not saying these are bad, but I tried all of those and it did not work for me. One thing that I couldn't seem to get rid of was the redness in my face. Like I was constantly red, constantly getting inflamed, and every time I would like do my skincare, my face would be really red afterwards and my face would sting. I honestly thought that might have just been normal. Like I was like, okay, like I assume, you know, you're putting on all these exfoliant serums, whatever, like your face is probably gonna burn. But let me tell you, girl, that is not normal. Like, yes, sometimes when you're using these heavy chemical like products, like your skin is gonna burn, but it shouldn't feel like that all the time. And I didn't understand that. Like, I was just kind of like, okay, maybe that's just how skincare is. So then I started doing research on sensitive skin. And I learned a lot. Like, the fact that I'm not supposed to be double cleansing because that just kind of irritates my skin more. Which, like I said, everyone says that you need a double cleanse. And I'm not saying that's something that you shouldn't do, but as someone who has sensitive skin, that's not something that I can do. Hyaluronic acid, I also stopped using hyaluronic acid, which is really crazy for me because I think everyone uses hyaluronic acid, to be honest. And ever since I started college, like that was like the first skincare product that I was introduced to. And my friend was like, yeah, you need this because if you don't know already, you can have your moisturizer, right? But that is not necessarily what is going to bring hydration to your face. It's just kind of like that like little ending note to your skincare routine. But honestly, like I think out of like all the products, for the most part, moisturizer is not something you really need to invest in. If I were you, I would invest more on like your cleansers, and if you are someone who can use serums, then like your serums. But moisturizer is not something you need to spend a lot of money on. You don't need to be buying like the expensive ones. But hyaluronic acid, that is what is going to add that hydration to your face. So I was using that all the time. And when I was studying up on like sensitive skin, I found out that you probably shouldn't be using hyaluronic acid. You shouldn't even really be using most serums, if anything. I'm using this Aveeno triple oat serum, which still acts as like a hydrator like for your face, but it's not hyaluronic acid. I really personally love toner pads, moisturizing pads. I really love the Dr. Jart face masks. Those I just love them. I love putting them in the fridge, so it's like cooling. It's like a cooling effect. However, I'm currently trying out like this like very minimal skincare routine, so I haven't been using that. What I've been using personally for my sensitive skin is literally just a CeraVe cleanser. And then I am putting on that Aveeno triple oat serum, and then I'm putting on a moisturizer, which is usually like Cetaphil, because Cetaphil has like anti-inflammatory moisturizers. That is it. That is my current skincare routine. Because sometimes less is more. If I could use these crazy skincare products, I would invest in like Asian ones, Korean skincare, Japanese skincare. I actually really do like Japanese skincare too. I love Innisfree, okay? I think Innisfree has a few products that are really good for sensitive skin, especially the SPF. And there's also a brand called Numbuzzin, I don't know, but it's on Amazon. I have seen it, like all these people, like all my friends, they use it and everyone really likes it. I used it for a little bit too, and I also personally really like all their products. I think all their products are pretty good for sensitive skin as well. Something I also learned recently, I actually haven't tried this out yet, but I think I'm gonna try this out soon. If you are someone who wears makeup, using like makeup removing scrubs rather than like, you know, usually you get like a pad or like a cotton pad or wipe and you wipe your face, I heard that using wipes and cotton pads aren't good for your skin. So people like using just like scrubs that you wash off your face and they kind of melt your makeup off. But all in all, besties, it truly is trial and error, being willing to invest into different products, doing a lot of research and education on your skin. Nothing happens overnight. Your skin is you, and you gotta take care of yourself. So that means you gotta take care of your skin too. When I was getting really into skincare, I would take an hour out of my day almost every day just doing research on it. And obviously, I am still learning, especially as I'm getting older. My skin might be changing as well, which means my routine might need to change. Acne is not a crazy thing. It's not because you're dirty. It's just sometimes a part of growing up. It's a part of life. So don't beat yourself too much about it. Okay, besties, before we end this episode, I obviously have to read some of your personal self-growth stories and just what you guys sent in recently. I love doing this. I love just celebrating this with you guys. So if you want to be in the next podcast episode, make sure you share your personal growth story either in the Q&A section of Spotify or you can comment below on YouTube. So JJ said, honestly, it's a leap of faith. I struggle with laziness, but I'm also one of the hardest workers out there. Although I've started practicing most of what you mentioned, it's good to be reminded of it. Thank you. I relate to that so much, JJ, because I know that I'm a hard worker, right? But sometimes you do just struggle with certain things and it's you just fall into a rut and it can be hard to get out of it, which is really why I like making these podcasts for you guys, because it's just a good way to be reminded. I remember talking to someone about just self-improvement books and all of that, and they were like, I don't understand the point of self-improvement books and self-help stuff, because I feel like a lot of these things are just really self-explanatory. Shouldn't people already kind of know these things? I'm like, honestly, yeah, it could be self-explanatory, right? But sometimes we just need a reminder. And I think we're always so in our heads that we forget about certain things and taking care of ourselves. And that's just why I like making these for you, and I'm glad that I can kind of remind you. The next one is from Sophia. I used to be the quiet girl and still am in public because I get very nervous fast and it's very often a problem, but I'm trying to be more social. Well, let me just say I'm very proud of you for putting in the effort and trying, because that is already a major step and you should be proud of yourself for trying to get out of your comfort zone, because it is nerve-wracking, Over time, you'll get used to it and you'll be way more comfortable. So good for you. I just truly want the best for you, besties, and I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. It's quite a bit of a different type of podcast, and I will see you guys on the next Reset Sunday. Bye!